What's up, motherfuckers? I'm doing the intro this time. That's right, bitch! Welcome to Edging on Dunston. This is a podcast. Hang on. I completely forgot where I was going to go with that. This is great.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Edging on Dunston, a podcast where three certified Dunston dunces dissect a cinematic masterpiece in 10-minute increments. Today, we're talking about minutes 50 to 60, and I am Drew. This treacherous swine is Sam.
I'm Sam.
I'm Adam.
We're just three raccoons digging around in the Golden Corral dumpster that is the movie Dunston checks in.
Which is funny because there's no difference between the Golden Corral dumpster and the Golden Corral buffet.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say before any words stopped coming to my mouth. Can we please have that intro before the credits and then the actual
Yes, yeah, we can do that.
Oh my goodness.
I came in with confidence at 10,000 and preparation at 0. Preparation at H.
You know, confidence, it overshadows preparation.
I think that we're all in such conflicting moods today because major conflict has been introduced in the world of Dunston.
Oh yeah, we got good old Buck.
Yeah, Buck's here.
Good old, the buck stops here.
Smash Bros intro.
I hope
Buck
it
LaFarge.
His special ability is definitely sensing the monkey nearby.
If he fights Donkey Kong's got no chance.
Alright, so just as a refresher from last week's episode...
God, Lord knows I need that. Every time we start this, every single name has been hemorrhaged from my mind. Like, I have to go back to the first page of my notes and check what everybody's name is again.
Okay.
Except for Dunston.
Ironic enough.
We're going to play a little game here. I'm going to ask Sam the names of three characters.
Okay,
I'm going to say the
notes.
names of three characters, and Sam's going to describe who they are and why they're relevant to the plot.
Okay. Oh, well, the second one might be impossible.
That's fair enough. That's fair. Okay. Brian Grant.
Oh, wow. I have no idea. I genuinely... You could be making that name up right now and I wouldn't know.
Brian Grant.
I have no idea.
The elder brother. The one who has the porno
Wait.
magazines.
That's Brian?
Yeah, his name's
Kyle's
Brian.
the little one.
Okay, I knew Kyle, so you wouldn't have got me with that one.
Okay, so one down. Sam?
Yes.
Mrs. Della Croce.
Oh, everyone knows who Mrs. Della Croce is. All I know is Della Croce alert. Nothing in this movie is stuck with me. I'm realizing right now. Oh,
No,
God.
Della Croce
Okay,
alert is wrong.
She's the inspector. Right? She's the one that like wants to give him the 6th star. No,
Sam, you're so far off. She's the one who gets sexually assaulted by Dunston and gets robbed by Dunston.
Yeah.
Is she not the one who wants to get the hotel?
No,
6th star?
she's-
No,
That's-
Mrs. Dubrow.
That's Dubrow alert.
Yeah.
Mrs. Della Croce is the one that gets felt up and spanked by the monkey.
I can't decide if this is like bad on me or the movie.
or the fact that it's been a week since we've recorded the episodes where she was relevant.
Yeah,
so
little
it's
column A,
okay.
little column B.
It's okay.
All right, the final one was Victor Dubrow.
Oh well, that's the bumbling husband who basically does not exist
Yeah.
in the movie.
Alright, can we get a ding 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 sound effect?
Oh yeah, well, you're editing.
Ding, ding.
That was more
ding.
just for me to remember.
Adam, can you put a sound of an elephant in here? I think that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, I like all the animal sound effects and just the jungle noise when they're in the what is clearly like the size of a utility closet in the house.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. I just think that it's like to demonstrate that this is the closest thing to a jungle that Dunston's ever seen, and as heartbreaking as it is, it's stupid. Because it is a greenhouse.
I'm pretty sure that they check behind. I'm pretty sure that they're hiding behind the exact same fern every single time. This place is like the size of a living room. It's a very small greenhouse. They just like go with low angles. They never show any wide shots of this room. You cannot convince me this is not the smallest greenhouse they could possibly find.
Even though
It's
the
a green
laws of
room.
filmmaking dictate that you set establishing shots so you can see what you're looking at, But God forbid that we get a little more effort from Dunston checks in.
Well, I mean, I know I know I started to kind of goof on that, but it is really kind of impressive when you consider that, what was 1996?
96,
this movie?
Yes.
That they had such advanced CG that they did that entire room that entire room is actually computer animated.
Really?
The entire reason the room is so small is because just that size greenhouse alone, with the plant simulations and the ray tracing and all that, that took a supercomputer roughly the size of a 747 in 1996 to process that. I mean, like, you look at Toy Story, and this just blows Toy Story out of the water from around the same time. It's really quite impressive.
Yeah, and Andy Serkis's motion cap performance of Dunston is just phenomenal.
Oh, see, you'd think that, but actually I watched the behind the scenes at the end of the DVD.
Did you?
I watched the behind the scenes, and actually what you're seeing right there in the rainforest cafe kind of scene is you're actually seeing a small model representation with a tiny little person in a monkey suit.
Wow.
So it's like 1/36 to scale.
I thought it was really surprising they brought in a human actor to do the mocap for Dunston, especially because they actually... The rig, the 3D model rig of Dunston was built off a scan of an actual orangutan. And that orangutan actually is the actor who was wearing the mocap suit for Jason Alexander's character.
Good night, everybody. All right, we've gone down enough rabbit holes. I think it's start talking about this week's 10-minute chunk, which begins with Jason Alexander talking to some potential clients for the Majestic Hotel, but then out his window he sees Monkey, and he is so shook. There's like 3 different parts where he's trying to open up the door and leave to take care of the monkey, but he keeps hitting himself with the door.
Because the doorknob's in the center of the door, which is just a bad design.
That's a good point.
True, I didn't even notice that.
But then he just keeps whacking himself with the door. He's like, the monkey.
This chuckle somehow manages to bumble his way out to the greenhouse.
Where he gets molested by a Dunston.
In due time.
A beautiful scene of the 2 investors in the foreground with the shenanigans happening in the background. I'm surprised you didn't fall in poop, because that's the kind of the classic.
My favorite part about that whole scene where he's trying to leave the door is that he screams out, "Holy shit!" And they don't he's clearly looking behind him. They don't turn around to see what he's looking at.
Yeah, they just think he's talking about the Four Seasons Hotel.
Yeah, these ladies are dumb.
Ha! Get wrecked.
White women for the lose.
You raise a good point, because he's very clearly not looking at them, and it's not like that's something that people don't notice. If you don't know this, I highly recommend trying it home. Next time you're talking to someone, just look just past their left ear, and it drives people absolutely insane. They will continue turning around and ask you what you were looking at until they eventually stop talking to you.
Especially if you're looking past them and you scream, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I feel like that especially adds to the effect. Oh boy!
All right, so Robert goes out to the tiny little closet greenhouse.
Is murdered by Dunston.
But before that, he makes a call to his secretary in order to get some things done. First of all, he summons the best animal control person in the city, the best in all of New York City, which is going to become important later. But also, he wants his secretary to apologize to his son for him, because I guess this recontextualized the smelly ledge monster, the suicide of Neil, rest in peace, and all of his son's absolutely manic blathering about an orangutan.
Because he's such a good father, he decides to have his secretary
apologize for him.
See, it's just a little bit of character development. He's a busy dad, but he cares. So after he goes into the greenhouse, he begins beckoning, "Monkey, monkey, monkey." Yes. And then, as if summoned by witchcraft or otherly spells, Dunston jumps on his neck and forces Robert to perform fellatio on him.
A very disturbing scene. I really enjoyed when he runs back and forth with Dunston, just clinging to his back. Clearly just hanging there, having a good time.
Yeah, Dunston's face is entirely placid, but Jason Alexander is screaming like a madman.
Dunston is the calmest, most reserved actor in this movie. A very understated performance.
Go, Sammy the Orangutan. I hope that you acted in many movies and lived a full and happy life.
Oh. Anyway. So after being potentially molested by this monkey, he leaves the room, and he gets word that the exterminator has arrived.
The best exterminator. The 5-star exterminator.
Yeah.
The champagne of exterminators.
The champagne of exterminators.
The champagne of beers of exterminators.
So, Sam, who is the exterminator?
His name is Buck Lafarge, as I've been informed.
And what actor is playing Buck Lafarge, Sam?
Oh, that's a good question because I'm bad at actor names, but I know it's Pee Wee Herman.
It's Paul Rubens, baby.
It did take a second to hit me. Like his first appearance, I was like, "Wait, why are you guys laughing?" Oh!
It's hard to get a pinpoint on him when he's not doing the silly voice.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard him talk with a normal human voice.
I know, it's so weird.
But he's here, baby.
He's here.
Man. And he's gonna find these monkey criminals and put them behind bars where they belong.
Buck Lafarge's character is a man who's like got this backwater sort of upbringing and mannerisms to him, but he knows his criminal monkeys. He's got a literal book that he shows to Robert Grant, and Robert Grant says, "All these monkeys are criminals?"
Which he responds, "You've got an orangutan problem." Man, this guy gets no greater pleasure in the world than incarcerating monkeys. It's very profound how much this man hates monkeys.
Especially since all of the creatures in his book were apes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like any good hunter, he has a sort of respect for the monkeys that he chases down, as evidenced by the fact that he's one of the few people to achieve interspecies communication by making fart noises at Dunston.
Yes, I had that written down. He knows the language of the Dunstons. He
genuinely speaks the language of raspberries that Dunston has only communicated through thus far.
There's a full 10-15 second exchange between Dunston and Buck, and I really wish they had subtitles. Because clearly there is an understanding there that is deeper than I am capable of picking up on.
There is a respect and an acceptance there. Oh, but I'd like to jump back a little bit to where he's first introduced to Mrs. DeBrow and Robert.
Buck Lafarge.
Buck Lafarge, yes.
Yes.
After he shows them the book of the monkeys that are criminals.
The Book of Criminal Monkeys.
Book of Criminal Monkeys, yes. The grimoire, if you will. He goes into the story about how there's monkeys in the sewers.
Oh,
Talk about how parents flush their children's Easter monkeys down the toilet.
Every background character is so much more developed and amazing. I want a movie. If every individual background character in this movie could have their own film, and it would be better than this movie.
A part about this that bothered me to no end is he gets real close to Jason Alexander. He gets right up on him and says, I haven't been comfortable sitting on the John since 1967. And then half a second later, he's halfway across the room pulling a gun out of his bag.
And then he winks at Jason Alexander.
He does. He gives this really weird, slow, not the eye doesn't even fully close.
Wink. You know what I'm talking about, not sitting on the John since 1970.
Yeah, if there's one guy who's never sit on the toilet, it's Jason Alexander.
Well, I mean, when you don't need to sit on the toilet when you're just saving all your feces to brew the jankum. As this man clearly has been huffing jankum nonstop. He's very dirty and disheveled. Wearing this jumpsuit that looks like it was white 50 years ago.
What is jankum?
It's when you brew all of your feces and bodily fluids, and then you just let them seep for a long time. Then when you open up the lid, it gives you fumes that get you high. That's jankum.
Buck Lafarge goes to find the monkey.
I forgot we were going to tell you that on New Year's. after New Year's.
Buck Lafarge, he's in charge. But Buck Lafarge, if there's one incredible thing about him, it is his dedication to his job. He acts like during the mid-2000s when there was that boom of reality shows about swamp boys and gator hunters and veterinarians. Yes. He's one of those guys. You could just imagine him talking to a camera in his Jeep. He's like, we're going to find a Pongo Pygmaeus.
He's got just the right level of unhinged to be on television, but not prison. It's a very fine line between television and prison. I really enjoy him using the scientific term
the Pongo Pygmaeus, which is something that I have memorized because of how many times I've seen this film.
I also really enjoyed the scene in the office when Kyle briefly comes in and sees Buck in there and says, "Dad, why does he have a gun?" To which Jason Alexander replies, "I'll tell you later." And shuts the door.
But before that,
if ever there was a pre-9/11 movie.
Oh my gosh.
After they shut Kyle out, Buck Lafarge pulls out a tranquilizer dart and says this dart will knock out a human for 18 hours. And Mrs. DeBrow looks at her watch like that means something, like that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 hours
I can
from
fit
now.
that into my schedule.
So if hypothetically you knocked him out now, 18 hours from now he will be awakening in a
and ready to pleasure me again.
But that's 18 hours on a human. On a Dunston, what will his dart do?
Oh, it'll kill him.
It'll kill
Most
him.
likely.
Why does he just use regular bolts at that point? That's what I want to know. Because
Yeah.
someone rightly asked, well, what does it do to a monkey? Well, probably kill him. Like, how does he not know? How is he arrested? All these other monkeys he's arrested. What has Dunston done that he's deserved death? He's like, no, this monkey, this one's got to go.
To be fair, he never says he brings the monkeys in alive.
But they have all the mug shots, which implies that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's true. All right,
They
point
could
for
be
Sam.
post-mortem, like all this 19...
He's just got their eyes
1800s photography where they just prop the monkey up.
Like in the very top of the frame, you can see someone holding their fingers up on their brows, pulling their eyeballs open.
Well, they just tape the eyes open like Clint Eastwood.
They just replace them with like marbles, like you do with taxidermied animals.
Yeah.
I have two important notes about Buckle
Oh,
Farge.
you know Buck's mantle place is
Covered
covered
with
monkey
monkey
faces,
heads.
Oh man,
and his bedroom is full of monkey ass.
I got all kinds of monkey ass, Mr. Grant.
He has like that thing that some people do where like they taxidermy the head on one side and the butt on the other side of the wall is a joke. And he like tries to play it off as a joke, but it's like clearly the butts have been more well taxidermied than the heads. Like clearly more care has been put into that.
Yeah, his guests come over. Why is it crusty?
And like the heads are kind of like they have cobwebs and are a bit dusty, but the butts are all really
It's
clean.
pristine.
Let's just say it wasn't a silverback when it died.
Oh yeah.
That was bizarre.
I have two major notes about Buck Lafarge. First of all, it is that when Kyle first runs into the room, Buck Lafarge jumps down behind a chair and then levels a gun at this child containing a tranquilizer dart that might kill him.
Well, he does have post-traumatic stress disorder.
From the orangutan wars.
And that is... and that is the exact area of approach that an orangutan would take.
Yeah, he'd yell, "Dad, no."
He would open the door and scream, "Dad."
You're right. He's at orangutan level. Anything that's like at that right height, he just by nature just lock and load.
He's a veteran of the orangutan wars. That's how he learned to speak their language. He knows the best methods of hunting them down. Buck Lafarge is the Van Helsing of Dunstons. He knows their methods. He knows how to hunt them. He speaks their language.
He's lived among them.
I really also enjoy that his name has the best spoonerism ever because Barge definitely is Spoonian. like the monkey videos that he's uploading on like ZooTube and whatever. He's definitely going by Barge. We can agree on that one, right?
Gosh.
Oh my god. So, after hearing about how these darts would kill Dunston...
Oh, I'm really upset that the words monkey sodomite just crossed my mind.
Oh, man.
Buck Lafarge, known monkey sodomite.
I think this is the episode where we've been most distracted by the subplots and other subterfuge.
It was a really weird episode because in this 10 minutes, it was kind of a complete... narrative, like it felt like an episode of a TV show at this 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty self-contained.
Like, it starts off right when he's seeing Dunston in the background, calls in an exterminator, and then we end on like the exterminator having failed to find Dunston and just like walking down the hallway.
Tune in next week.
Oh
yeah,
god,
I mean,
that's where we end for the week? All right.
No, I'm serious.
No, I know.
We're just gonna end 500 measures early.
Oh, that's a little inside joke. Okay. So, after Kyle hears about the tranquilizer darts killing the monkey, he goes out to where the security team is guarding the greenhouse, and he tells them that Dunston's not in there, and they believe him, and they run away, and they leave the greenhouse unguarded and unwatched, so Kyle can sneak in to regroup with Dunston.
Yeah, he runs out and he says, "Security, they hit the Pentagon! They hit the Pentagon!"
We can't make a habit out of this.
The first 3 episodes, like the first half of the series is the Ronald Reagan and Hell arc. This is the 9/11
We're
arc.
at the 9/11 arc.
Oh man, where do we go from here? I'm scared. They're just getting more and more recent. It's gonna be too soon.
Oh my goodness. But after the security team scatters, listening to what sociopath Kyle has to say, Kyle goes in and tries to rescue Dunston from big old Buck Lafarge, who then follows in close behind.
Oh, man, I don't even want to talk about this part. It's just...
This is the part where Buck Lafarge is looking for Dunston in this greenhouse. Then as he's poking around in the ferns, Dunston grabs onto his gun, and then they start communicating in Dunston speak, which of course is going for a good 15 seconds.
I do really enjoy that part. I'm actually kind of upset now because I just thought of a better casting choice for Buck Lafarge.
Please enlighten me.
Imagine Jim Varney as Buck Lafarge.
No.
You can't tell me that face acting would not be the where's the monkey? He looks back and forth.
Hey there, monkey, I'm gonna shoot you.
That was pretty good.
Oh, I really want Jim Varney.
Well, too bad you got Paul Rubens.
Yeah, Jim Varney's dead now, so we can't even do a Dunston Checks In remake.
Oh, you guys, season 3, we got to do an Ernest movie.
No,
I would no, in all seriousness, I would probably end up killing myself if I had to sit through an Ernest movie. I can sit through Dunston all goddamn day.
See, how can you? Okay, I don't understand this because for me, Ernest is like a treasured childhood memory. I can sit down. I can some Ernest.
All right, you know what? I would watch Ernest only for you.
You can't tell me the Ernest Halloween special isn't great. I know the Halloween special is good.
The Halloween special is okay. The rest is garbage.
I don't have a strong memory of the other ones except for Ernest joins the army for some reason.
I'm gonna drop this bomb on that hospital.
You need to stop right now. We need to get back to business.
We gotta get back to Dunston.
Alright, so while Dunston's playing with Buck Lafarge's gun...
And they're having an impressive dialogue.
Yes.
Kyle ties his shoelaces together.
Dunston's?
No, Dunston doesn't wear shoes, you freaking idiot.
He's got spats on.
He's got what?
Spats.
What the f*** are spats?
The old-timey shoes with, the black shoes, white tops.
Oh, okay, I gotta give me a pair of them. Now I know what they're called.
You're welcome, Internet.
To go with my cummerbund.
Buck Lafarge, tripping over his shoelaces, fires a round out of his gun, blowing out a window that Dunston escapes through.
And that's a pretty loud gunshot for a tranquilizer dart.
It doesn't go pew, it goes...
To raise the question, why don't you just use real bullets if he's already gonna kill Dunston?
Yeah.
I think it's so he doesn't kill a person.
And if it's not like this is a 5-star hotel, we gotta keep it quiet on the down low. But that thing was louder.
You're sitting in your room at the 5-star hotel, you start hearing gunshots. You come to the lobby and say, what's happening? Oh, don't worry, sir. They're just hunting the monkey.
But why is the...
Carry on.
Oh, don't worry, sir. That's Buck Lafarge.
Yeah,
he's a professional monkey murderer.
All the guests are like, but why is he dressed like the Joker?
I feel safer already. Carry on.
Right.
He busts out of the room, disheveled, covered in dirt, which was already there when he walked in the front door. This man is clearly traumatized by a life of hunting monkeys. He's walking, when they show him just walking through the lobby, I really enjoy the detail of him just looking at the ceiling. He's
got PTSD.
He's walking through the lobby, clutching his gun, looking into the rafters, where's the monkey? Where's the monkey?
Where is he? Buck Lafarge is a Chad. There are so many Chads in this movie.
On a scale of... we'll say on a scale of Brian to Lionel Spaulding, Lionel Spaulding being 10 and Brian being 1, who would you say he is closer to?
I think he surpasses Lionel Spaulding.
Nah, really?
I seriously do.
All right.
I think Lionel Spaulding's a 9 and Buck Lafarge is a 10.
All right.
You can't beat the Barge, as he's all often known.
Little Barge.
Barge, and then it just gets bastardized even further to Barge. That's what happens. You can't stop me. Every time you hear just the bleep, you'll know that's me referring to Buck Lafarge.
Kyle escapes.
I'm the penny on the tracks. That's
Buck Lafarge, man. Wait, can you imagine if...
Can you imagine if Buck Lafarge... That's it. That's
it. If he was real, man...
oh man, it's great because it's 10 minutes, and I keep thinking how far. Well, but we're halfway through this part. The second half of this just starts. There's nothing. There's nothing. You think like...
Oh, I disagree. There's some comedy gold in that last 5 minutes.
There's a good 3 minutes of nothing.
Should we start panning then? Let's start panning for that gold.
Okay, all right.
I want to see what you found.
I found some very interesting things.
Lay it on me.
I really only found like 2 or 3 nuggets in the last half of this.
I will say the last 30 seconds is back to good business. But
that's true, because we got hit Buck Lafarge in the lobby, and yeah.
And Dr. Lambing knock. But before that, Adam.
All right, so after the whole greenhouse incident, we cut to Kyle tracking down Dunston in his secret monkey lair, and he comes across a big puddle of blood. Mm-hmm. So here we think that Dunston's been hit with a bullet and is like on death's door. And then we cut to the next scene. He's got a tiny little piece of glass in his hand that there was just puddles and puddles of blood from, which is easily removed by tweezers and the singing of Happy Birthday.
They sing. Kyle sings Happy Birthday to keep Dunston calm when they remove the glass. At first he's a bit too jittery, but being the absolute dunce that this stupid child is, he sings all of Happy Birthday and then removes the glass. Which really bothered me to no end.
I didn't even notice that. Good find, Sam. But this also is where they bring Brian, the elder brother, into their secret monkey sect. He is now one of the guardians of Dunston.
And I would also like to acknowledge the fact that this whole monkey being injured plot is in and out in a minute and 30 seconds.
And all it serves to do is lead us into what should have been the first act of the film.
Yes, absolutely agree.
We're like an hour in, and this feels like the beginning of the movie. Dunston finally checks in, y'all.
Guys.
I'm proud to say Dunston finally checks in.
He did it.
Could be like an air horn.
Adam edited in applause.
I really didn't think it was ever going to happen. I was kind of shocked. It was a very bold, creative decision to have Dunston check in. The audience has long since checked out.
I didn't predict Dunston would check in. It was a real twist.
So, Drew,
yes, brother.
How do they get him in the hotel? What is their plan?
Racism? Racism, yeah.
Other than the threat of looming racism, what do they do to get him in the hotel?
They open up a phone book and see a name, a man named Lambing Knock. And so they make a reservation at the hotel. I have no idea how. I assume you needed a credit card or something, but then again...
They flipped to the credit card phone book and found his credit card number,
yeah, they found Lambing Knock's credit card in the phone book. And so... Then they take an incredibly unnecessary step, which is to dress Dunston up in a fedora and blankets and put him in a wheelchair in full view. They don't do anything to hide his face or anything. He's still
very clearly an orangutan.
But they keep on calling him Dr. Nagak, which makes me think that they're just counting on everybody being so racist that they're just like, oh, that's what those people look like. That's not a monkey.
Right there, build it up for that. My biggest point that I find that this is gold from is the maid. The maid in the elevator. There's a maid, the two boys, and Dunston dressed like Dr. Nagak in his little wheelchair. The fact that she is, I don't know if she's fooled or not, or she just doesn't give a shit.
She just is not paid enough.
She's not paid enough to care.
But just the fact that... Alright, like, we're understating how horrible this disguise is. It's just Dunston in a fedora with, like, a polio blanket on his legs.
Have you guys ever seen those pictures from the 90s when Michael Jackson would try to go places in disguise, but it was very clear, like, Michael Jackson in a shawl and sunglasses? That's the same level.
But imagine if Michael Jackson wasn't even wearing the sunglasses. This is an orangutan in a wheelchair, and the maid obviously sees that, but... That's not her job.
Just imagine.
This is like the equivalent of Michael Jackson wearing a fedora and a shawl and moonwalking through Disney World.
Going hee-hee.
Just imagine, though, if she would have seen this, because, let's straighten this out. She saw the two boys that were with the monkey.
Yes.
She heard them say the name that they're going by.
All right,
so if she gave a shit, she could have ended the whole movie. That maid could have stopped the entirety of Dunston Checks In.
Why should you
Okay.
turn that monkey around? Why should you turn the monkey around?
I want you to put yourself in the headspace, though, because I genuinely don't think there's a person alive who would report that monkey to security. Because you're working in a hotel, you statistically probably don't really like your job. Jason Alexander's your boss. You definitely don't like your job very much. You're probably not getting paid enough.
You're one brow alert away from losing your job.
You're standing in the elevator. Someone pushes what is obviously a monkey in a hat into the elevator. What is your my first thought's gonna be? Let's see how this goes. Let's let this one play out.
Yeah, things are about to get fun around here. All right,
So
guys.
when they get to the room, this is the other thing I found very enjoyable. The fact that Dunston's just clearly an alcoholic.
Yeah, he
goes
instantly goes
straight
for the
for
champagne.
He drinks, like, a good half bottle of that champagne.
Yeah, orangutan with the champagne.
I really want to get a cut of the movie where as soon as he pops that cork, it freezes and does the Eric Andre will be right back. Because there's just the most perfect 3 frames of as much champagne spray as there could possibly be. Like, the set dresser took this bottle, was having a bad day, just shook the everything out. Like, here you go, Dunston, have fun. Like, Dunston pops this cork, and half of the bottle spray. You can tell in that, like, quarter of a second that they showed that before they cut away, that entire bottle sprayed completely on the floor.
I do have to say that I'm very actually genuinely impressed that the monkey was trained to open the champagne bottle. That is actually pretty impressive.
If we have preview images unique to each episode, I want the preview images of this episode to be that frame of Dunston spraying champagne like he just won the Indy 500.
I was kind of hoping we could do a still frame of just Dunston disguised as Dr. Mugak.
Oh, they're both so good. We should have a Flickr gallery for the podcast, so we can just link all our favorite
gallery.
We'll make our meme account where we can just post all of our favorite image macros from the movies that we review.
All right, and after they check Dunston into the hotel, we're taken back to Lord Rutledge, who's not doing so well after losing his prized monkey.
He only ate half of his sandwich.
But he smoked all his cigarettes.
No,
Yeah.
like he picks up the sandwich as if to like use it in his acting, and then sets it right back down.
Yeah, it's
like he
very
picks it up in
strange.
a second, sets it back down in the same second. I'm not sure if he was just like
He was
going method.
He was preparing a monologue to his sandwich.
To Dunston or not to Dunston. But that's really it. And I think that takes us to our favorite ending segment. Sam, what's in the future of Dunston Checks In?
Okay, well, I was thinking about it a little bit, and I did think I think I figured out what I've done wrong. When I've been trying to summarize the movie before, I've been like thinking what a normal movie would do. You know how an actual movie would wrap up and resolve all of its A plots. What I'm realizing now is this movie is not a normal movie. So I think what's really going to happen is that we're going to really focus in on all the villain characters, and it's just going to kind of wrap it up for them. I think what we're going to eventually find out is that Dunston's going to be in Rutledge's room. We're going to be trying to figure out like what his motivation is. What is his real motivation? As Dunston is digging through files, he finds what happened to his older brother, Sammy, I believe.
Sammy's the actual monkey. His Samson.
Samson. He finds out
Why do we say that like it's an Asian pronunciation? Samson.
He finds out the terrible fate that befell Samson, which is that Rutledge murdered and skinned him
With his nipple clamp.
Yeah, because you see what Rutledge actually is. He's not a carny, and he's not like a fancy hotel patron. But what Rutledge actually is a businessman, and his business is monkey merkins. He's got
Clients are Buck LaFarge.
he's got to get Dunston. He's got to get Dunston fattened up, get more surface area so we can get as many merkins out of this monkey as he possibly can, and that's why he's been. Dunston opens the suitcase and it's just full of merkins made from coarse, stiff monkey hair.
Spare the rod.
And
Spoil the merkin.
And that's where he gets all his money. All his merkins are bespoke. That's why he's trying to get to know all the women of the hotel so well. It's not because this movie's horny. It's because he's got to really get in there so he can custom make. He's got to get all the specs, the measurements for his perfect monkey.
That's why he was staring at Della Croce's cleavage. He's got to he's got an eye for detail.
He can look at As everyone knows, by looking at the cleavage, you can get a good idea of what a person's merkin size would be.
I have no idea what a merkin is, so I'm just going with the flow.
Either of you know what a merkin is?
No. I have no goddamn clue.
Oh boy. Well, today I get the pleasure of informing both of you that a merkin is false pubic hair for women.
Oh my god.
Famously worn by lots of actresses to like cover themselves when they have to do full nude scenes.
Oh man, we're learning some shit today.
Yeah, so that's why Rutledge is making monkey merkins.
I've got a
It probably would have helped
second.
if you guys would have known what that was before I went on this long rant.
I've got a second idea that you inspired, and that's Dunston. Rutledge is fattening up these orangutans to skin them and make a Buffalo Bill orangutan suit.
He wants to be an orangutan.
Would you monkey?
I'd
monkey.
He's gonna put this full suit on. He's gonna look in the mirror and go.
Goodbye, horses.
All right, everybody. I think that's about wrapping this one up. Join us next week as we look at minutes 60 to 70. And until then, I have been Drew.
He's gonna lock himself in the bathroom and give himself an old monkey paw. I'm Sam.
I'm in need of therapy.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Have a nice week.
Have fun living in the city.
That was Edging on Dunston, the podcast where three buffoons analyze Dunston checks in 10 minutes at a time. You can email us at edgingpodcast@gmail.com. You want your email featured on the show, make sure to let us know if we can use your name. Edging on Dunston is a podcast by Sam, featuring Adam and Drew. Editing is by Adam. Intro is Right to Ascension, written by Sam and remixed by Adam.